I'm Kristen Hall, and I'm the owner of Bandit Baking Company in Birmingham, Alabama, and I'm going to show you how to properly ice a naked cake. So before we start icing our cake, I'm going to go ahead and fill a small piping bag with a little bit of extra buttercream so that we have a little bit of detail for our cake after we're finished. I've got really nice, smooth buttercream here, and one of the things you want to try to do when you're filling this bag is to minimize the air bubbles that are in it. So I put a little bit of buttercream in it and then I flatten out the bag. So my favorite tools for icing a naked cake are an offset spatula, an ice cream scoop or something like that. We use that to sort of measure how much icing we're putting on here. So these are really my two favorite tools for this. So I've used about 4.5 scoops for this. And one of the things that is important when you're icing a naked cake is we're actually going to ice a little bit over the edge, and that's going to give us a little bit of extra buttercream to ice in between the layers. So what I've done is I have smoothed out the layers of icing, but as you can see, sort of over the edge. So I've added a little bit over the edge so that when I add the next cake layer, there will be plenty of icing already in place for that. And I like to stack my cake layers and have them ready to go in between parchment. You can also use wax paper. So again, a nice, flat, beautiful cake layer, and I just hold it on the sides and layer it over the top. So now that we have this extra icing, I'm going to fill in the gap in between the layers. And it's important when you're working with cake layers like this, especially if you're going to put them on a plate, to make sure that you also put a layer of parchment on the bottom of the last layer, and that will enable you to sort of be able to pick up the cake without it sticking to the plate. At this point, we're going to add that final layer. What we're going to do now is we're going to finish the top of the cake, and we're going to take that wall that we built with the icing a little bit earlier, and we're just going to smooth over the top. And the way I like to do it is using the turntable. You take your offset spatula and you just pull the icing over the top. That extra icing that we put into the piping bag, and I'm just going to add a few details to the top of the cake. And then I'm going to use straight up and down motion. I'm going to squeeze and pull the piping bag up. So I'm going to add just a little bit of sprinkles. You can add whatever you like to the top of your cake. You can use sprinkles, you can use fresh fruit, you can pipe the entire top with different size pastry tips, or you can go for that. So my recommendation is that you put it into the fridge for about an hour to firm up the icing just a little bit to make it easier to slice. Swiss meringue buttercream in this cake is best served at room temperature, so I would leave it in the fridge no more than an hour. There you have it. We have made ourselves a beautiful naked cake. I hope you enjoy making one at home.